And it will be the deciding game for Epsilon versus Trade. One of these teams will be going forward towards a close qualifiers for the IEM Katowice 2018 to be able to battle it out with some of the best teams in the world for a spot at the biggest, baddest Intel Extreme Masters, one of the biggest and baddest CSGO tournaments in the world in the calendar year, and Surreal wants to start things off right, but unfortunately for him, he's going to be forced to wait a while because Utility is flushing him out of his own position. Robin instead steps it up, 1, 2, and it will be the third, which will be his own head that ends up rolling. Console is able to finish him off to be able to quickly get the bomb plant down. Two of these players on Trick do not have Kevlar. They do not have the power to fight too easily. Console has to get a few quick headshots. Snedker does exactly that, but Smuya with a flick on to Insta will make it a 3 versus 1. Console is left with a P2000. No, that's a USB. Never mind, not a P2000. And 3 to 1 quickly turn into 3 to 9. Epsilon take away the first pistol round, and that is a great way to start things off on the CT side. And that is an absolutely great way. Tricked will, however, force buy up immediately. Luki with an AK-47, Insta with a Galil. But with 4 players over towards the A-long area, this might be a very unpleasant surprise coming through for Smuya and Sak, who are both postured very close to each other, trying to play off of each other. Smuya only has a USB though. He's trying to get greedy, trying to save up for the AWP in the 3rd round. But that 3rd round might not be giving him the AWP regardless, as we are waiting to see where exactly Trick will end up pointing their crosshair, painting their path, and stepping their feet. Don't have to make sense or grammatical accurate, or need to be grammatically accurate. Robin moves through. There's going to be 5 players walking up from the middle in towards A very, very quickly. They will be shut down if they're not careful. The flashes will be enough for Luki to find the initial kill onto Smuya, but they need to get a trade quickly as Robin has already found 2 kills with that UMP. Console peeks out. He gets the shot. Surreal will go down and Cosmin. It's all on him. It's 1 versus 1, and Insta has to try and get the bomb plant down. Insta has got the HP advantage as well, but Cosmin, he has got the name power. He has got the potential to quickly take over with a few shots to the body, to the head, or any other part of Insta that leaves. Oh no, Insta spotted him out, and that will be all she wrote. 1 to 1. Tricked are able to get that force by victory. Three rifles, 2 UMPs, and well, this won't be great, will it? This absolutely will not be great for them. Snedka has to find a quick kill. Wait, did I just say 1 rifle, 3 UMPs? What? Ugh. However, with Snedka still maintaining position, the bomb is postured towards B. They've got 3 players who can make the A fake, who can try and sell it, but those 3 players need to go quick, because if too much time is used up, then this will not be ending well for them. Surreal is allowing the push to come through potentially. But instead, he himself chooses to get aggressive and trying to take advantage of the smoke and spraying through it. But Console is sidestepping it just by an inch. Just by an inch. Lukia and Rixo moving forward. They're able to take down Sack. Surreal will have to push through over towards the drop area to try and trade that kill away. Insta and Lukia found 2 despite the CTs being able to get a couple of kills. They just aren't able to stop the bomb from being planted. Surreal pushes forward trying to catch a man out with a grenade in his hand, but Insta on the other side will trade it away and almost goes for the second as well. Surreal takes a fall. Snedka to do the honors of burying him. Two to 1. And 5 USBs in the hands of Epsilon. Double grenade. Nicely done. And that's Cosmin hitting the floor. And possibly his desk too out of frustration. Not that that is too big of a deal when you're only in possession of a USB. Sack finding the opportunity to shut down Rixo, and he will capitalize off of that opportunity. The 2 USB headshots will allow him to pick up a MAC-10, but a MAC-10 is not enough for them to win this round out. They need a lot more than just that. Surreal will be given the chance to find a few more, but unfortunately for him, the flashbang will blind him as they will just rush through and return fire. A couple of very quick kills, and Sack is left in need for a target. Well, that target will be provided to him, but unfortunately for him, it shoots back as well. 3 to 1, Tricked have started off strong on their terrorist side. Despite Epsilon being able to win out the first pistol round, they are not in a great position regardless. Shout out to Thomas Utting. Sack is waiting for the push to come through. That flashbang will not be helping him out too much because he is shooting them all down one by one. But only 2 will be going through. Smooya attempting to spray long range, but the M4A4 is not renowned for its prowess in that area. Apparently, Console is not renowned for his promise in that area either because he gets naded down. 2 versus 4 now, and Tricked have suddenly started to lose control. Insta is left alone versus the exact same amount of CT side players, but with significantly less T side players, which is not the greatest of conundrums to be caught up in. But he gets taken down. So 3-2. Epsilon are able to triumph and are able to give themselves a fighting chance in this half. If they win one more round on the side of Epsilon, they should be able to take it to 5. Well, maybe not 5. But 4 at least. This round is an important one. Actually, 5 is a pretty reasonable estimate, considering the fact that Tricked will not really have that much utility in the round succeeding the 7th. The 8th round. Apparently 8th succeeds 7. And I don't need to say succeeding 7th, because I can just say 8th. That's why numbers were created. Unfortunately for me, numbers are not my friend. That's why she never gave me hers. I promised myself I wouldn't cry in the middle of a cast. I promised myself. Well, Snedka, he might be looking to give Tricked a chance to leak some tears out of their eyes. And Surreal will take the wide peek through, shuts down Snedker immediately after. Snedker, not too happy about that one. Almost as bad as that time I didn't get digits, but Console goes down to the flames of his own teammate. Rixo is burning his friend alive, providing him with a free cremation as it goes on. Surreal is looking to unleash hell, but unfortunately for him, Insta will end up returning the favor. As he fakes the bomb plant, there's only 10 seconds left. He needs to go for it earlier on underneath better cover. But Robin takes advantage of his negligence and he is able to quickly win that out. Smooya shutting down Luki early on, but it's against a complete anti-eco. He's just farming up some cash to try and pick up that AWP and have some money left over later on. I'd make a joke about things that UK people like to buy, but I don't actually know anything that you guys like to buy. I just know you guys like Tesco, because Tesco is actually super nice. At least I thought Tesco was super nice. Did you know they have these things, like, they have the spaghetti in a tin? It's spaghetti in a tin. That's so cool. It tastes like horrible, absolutely awful, but it is spaghetti in a tin. 4-3, Epsilon. Their showings are better than spaghetti in a tin, which is to say that I thought they would be good, and well, they actually turned out to be pretty reasonably good. However, now Tricked are going fast on towards the B side. Surreal smoking out Broken Wall in an interesting way. I don't actually know what purpose that serves. It might be a bit of a one-way. Maybe he's just trying to play around that smoke. Not entirely sure. But with that being said, they're going to be walking in towards the side very quickly. Insta ends up being blinded up by their own flashes, but he doesn't care. He's just charging forward. Snedker finds one to Surreal. Smooya to go down up next, and now Robin. Sure, he's returning fire, but he himself will be having a pretty rough time as soon as he jumps in towards the incendiary, down to 74 points of HP. He doesn't check behind him, and he should be taken down very soon after. What is happening? Snedka! He walked by you! Don't make this harder on me than it already is, Tricked. Well, okay. We're gonna pretend like that round didn't happen, and we're gonna pretend as if we never stopped talking about Tesco. So anyway, guys, enough about Tesco. Let's get back into the game. 5-3 and Tricked have got an eco round going up against Epsilon. Epsilon haven't actually purchased up the AWP for Smooya, probably because they realized that the eco was coming through and they didn't want to risk him being overwhelmed and giving away that op in towards that next round, giving away a bit more of an economic chance for Tricked to be able to try and get anything done. Smooya, though, he's declaring proficiency with more than just the AWP. He's saying that he is the UK version of Simple, which is a significantly worse Simple, but hey, Simple's pretty good. I wouldn't mind being any version of Simple. But Smooya, he shuts down Insta, and he's making it look easy right now. Having a grand old game, sitting on top of the scoreboard, well, near the top of the scoreboard. Robin's sitting on the highest frag chart with 11 to his own name, and that's a pause coming through from Trick. They're trying to decide what exactly they want to do. I like how the second I mentioned Tesco, everyone in chat just talks about Tesco for the next 5 rounds. This pause is a lengthy one. That is pretty much all I can say about it, considering that there is still no purchase made from Trick. They might be deciding whether or not they want to go for an AWP on the terrorist side, which is a little bit of a risky decision to make because you need a very proficient opper. And although Rixo was looking very, very hot with his AK-47 over in Mirage, this might not be the map for him to op on. I think the 5 pence bag charge is nice, though. It's good to stop pollution, you know? Like, don't buy plastic bags. It's pretty good. Sounds like a good idea to me. You know, people don't buy bags, you have less pollution. Just saying. Anyway, no AWP coming out for Rixo on the side of Trick. They will, however, be trying to put a little bit more presence over towards that B side, as they have attempted to do so in the past as well. Unfortunately for them, their past attempts have not been very fruitful. Now, though, they are looking to change that. For real. Throwing out a couple of incendiaries because they're expecting Trick to go in soon. The thing is, Epsilon isn't looking good with their utility. They're using all of their utility by now, and now they're pushing forward aggressively without having any utility to back up that player. This might just be them getting overconfident, but it's not like they're looking great with their utility usage. The fact of the matter is still, Trick is just having a couple of very unfortunate rounds where they aren't either winning the duel or they're just straight up not noticing someone going by them, as there are 2 people staring right into his face. And Console and Robin are staring into each other's eyes as they do end up shooting someone or the other in the head. 6-3, Epsilon have suddenly lost complete control of that B-bomb site, and Sak will be setting up his home inside the tower. He's doing his best attempt to roleplay Rapunzel. That's why if anyone tries to come up the ladder or the stairs, he's going to shoot them, because he's saying, no, guys, do this properly. Go down there, say, Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair. You know I want to let down my hair. And that's where Trick is going to come up and say, but Sat, you don't have hair, you're bald. No, I said, say the words. Basically. 5 AKs coming through from Tricked. And Epsilon, well, they've got an AWP on Smooya this time around. And hopefully he can do a little bit more with that than they did in the previous round with his M4. And hopefully they're going to be able to maintain control of the site a little bit more effectively as well. However, Smooya is actually positioning himself in near the A-long area. I can't say I like this spot for him. They've got 2 players setting up a crossfire inside B and 1 in drop. Pretty standard setup, but instead of having the 2 M4s over towards the A-long side, which I would like to see personally, they've actually got the AWP. Oh, nice grenade, nice incendiary, great timing coming through from Surreal. That's going to do a lot of damage as well. Snedker and Console are both down by a significant chunk of HP. That should make things a bit more difficult. And now Epsilon have realized what their initial mistake was in the previous round, where they did use up their utility too early on, and now they will have their own utility to work with. Surreal, though, gets one headshot, is trying to go for a few more, but because he's running around all over the place, he's going to end up missing his shots. Cosmin instead steps up long enough for Surreal to reset his aim and go in once again to turn this into a 5 versus 2. Insta and Rixo, they're not going to have too much other than just each other to help them win this round out. Surreal will not be able to shoot the man through the... Okay, never mind. You know what? I was about to say he wasn't able to shoot the man through the smoke, but why not? Why not? What the hell is going on in chat? Why are you talking about Yeezy skins in CSGO? Don't bring Yeezys into CSGO. No. No. That's enough. This ridiculous Yeezys craze going on around the world. Ugh. 7-4. And that's where the pause is used by Tricked. And for good reason, because they are not winning, which is generally when you use pauses. Sometimes you even use pauses when you are winning, and you don't want the other team to start winning. Apparently, pauses all have to do with either maintaining your winningness or increasing your winningness, depending on your circumstances. Console ready to chuck out an incendiary, but it's too late because Surreal's already found 2 kills. Cosmin with another one of his own. Surreal makes it 3, but he's traded away. Console finds that kill. It's still a 1 versus 3 for him, and it's not going to be materializing into anything as Smooya comes up from on top and will shut him down. P250 in hand. I'm not casting the closed qualifiers. And I also don't cast like this. Like, you need to understand, I do not cast like this. Like, 90% of the time, I am not casting like this. This is just not a great... This is just because of some delays that took place, this game has gone a lot longer than I thought it would have. And I didn't sleep in the afternoon for the cast today. That's the only problem. Like, it's still fun, don't get me wrong. It's just I didn't sleep for it, so I'm saying a lot of really dumb stuff. That being said, Smooya's got the AWP. This time around, he's trying to block out all of them, but Insta, in the meanwhile, has already taken down Sak. That might be the only kill they get, but as I say that, Luki manages to make it 2, and Snedker makes it 3. Insta's reclaimed that M4 as well, and he will be attempting to guard the bomb that has been planted. Cosmin looking at Rixo, who gets tagged up, dinked up entirely immediately, and that makes things much more doable for Insta. But as I say, that Surreal finishes him off. The bomb will be planted, they will get a bit of extra money to work with, and Epsilon's economy will be curtailed and kept underneath control, if nothing else. Alright, Surreal was in Complexity. I just remembered. Wasn't he on Complexity for like 2 years? Or something ridiculous like that. He was just on Complexity for an absurdly long time, more than his performance warranted, from what I remember. Yeah, Def is still on Complexity though. Anyway, 9-4. Smokes are being set up. Now they're trying to just go for an execute on towards the B side. Surreal's been playing the exact same position. Please, dear God, kill this man. How are you not checking that position? Every single round he's gotten multi-kills. This time he gets 3. Why aren't you checking that position? It's not like he ever changes it. Just molly him out. Throw a grenade. do something. This is so ridiculous. Tricked are doing the exact same thing over and over again. That is the definition of insanity. Smuya's AWP will be given the chance to shine yet again. Unfortunately for him, he might just be more of a distraction, or he might just be a distraction for Sack to be able to throw out this incendiary, block out their path. That flashbang will not be helping them out whatsoever when they can't traverse through that incendiary. The smoke will... the smoke might not actually end up working out for him, considering they might have a tendency to just push straight through it. Sack, though, flashbang will... Oh, never mind. I thought he was pushing through his own smoke. He will not be doing so. He doesn't want to go for the route of the major winner. And well, Smuya in the meanwhile finds Luki, shuts him down. Rixo, nice flashbang to come through. Will be catching him and Console out together. And well, Sack, he's going to end up getting flashed. And he gets taken down by Console, who takes the peek out. 3 versus 4. Despite Smuya getting a kill, they're not able to maintain control too easily. That's why Smuya is forced to rotate back inside the bomb site. He gets the tag, needs to re-peek to get the kill, though will finally achieve that feat, but not before Console can get into position to trade away Surreal as well. In a 1 versus 2, he can step up. He has the power, he has the utility, and he has the time on his side, because Tricked have to go for the bomb plant now. Rixo left in a 1 versus 1. Incendiary to come through will block out one possible path, but the other one is the one where Rixo will be lying still and will put Epsilon to rest. 5 to 10. Tricked are able to very quickly get themselves a little bit more respite. And we're going to be back pretty soon after 30 seconds of advertisements. Okay then, we're back into it. 5 to 10. Epsilon. If they win out this pistol round, then they are practically guaranteed to be able to take this game away from the hands of Trick. They're on the terrace side of Cobblestone. Oh my goodness. Robin might have been checking out the chat in between the games, making sure that he sees what everyone's saying about him. When he sees people saying he needs to be replaced, then he comes through, and he comes through big. Sack, though, is hoping that he won't be finding his way onto the chopping block once Robin has been taken away from it. The court of public opinion should be ruling in their favor, but Snedker does not care about your public opinion. Snedker does not care about your allegiances. Snedker cares about his headshots, and he is getting all of them. 2 so far. We'll finish it. Oh, never mind. That's the ace. All of them indeed. Ten to 6. Great. I very quickly opened a path back into this. And that's the kind of a play that you want to see when you're down like this. You want to be able to see a fancy player which gets all of your team spirits up. That allows you to... Oh, no. Ugh. Well, I was hoping that we'd see a play like that from Epsilon as well. At least get a couple of nice kills. But doesn't seem like that will be happening. For now, Insta is just content with farming up a few kills here and there, because Mean will be able to take one down, but that one is not enough. And Strict will take themselves up to a 7th and very soon after 8th round, probably. With only $300 invested into this round, Kasmin could do great things with his P250, but it's unlikely, to say the least. It is unlikely indeed. Luki's Incendiary will stop them from coming on towards the A site from his side, and it will allow him to set up a bit of a shooting gallery, and he will be able to profit substantially off of it. 3 quick kills for him, and Luki is ready to open up shop to the public. Rixo can pick up the AWP if he wants to forgo some of his armor, but instead will just be sticking to the Thomas. Not a map where we've seen a lot of op action, even when Smuya was picking it up. Nothing too fancy, honestly. And it's not that surprising to come through from the T side, because that's where you can go for the 5 AKs, and that's where you can play a much more fast-paced strategy. But it's something that I would have liked to see more on the CT side, with both teams just prioritizing the op more. Petty Power Sterling already replied to you, man. You didn't get aired, someone else replied to you. Flashbang forward, Insta's waiting for the peak to come through, and well, he capitalizes off of it. His M4 is more than... Dude, this man's prepared. That's what he is. This man is prepared. And I have to say, I have to commend Tricked. After the first map, the way that they were absolutely destroyed, they've started to show signs of life, and this is exactly what you need. You need the mental fortitude to be able to come back from a deficit. And that's what they're showcasing right now. They've got complete control of the A side, and with 50 seconds left on the clock, they don't want to over-rotate. That's why you're seeing them just stick to their positions. They are not budging whatsoever. Sack. The Incendiary will allow him to move forward. Snatker does get one headshot through. Insta takes down Robin, but he's traded away soon after. Console's MP9 will come to the test, and he will show up with flying colors. Flashbang forward, grenade to take down Cosmin. Sack is left with 7 points of HP, a bomb, and a dream. Unfortunately for him, that dream will be cut to pieces by the MP9 of Console, who will continue to farm up money by destroying dreams. Console seems to be a representative of the capitalistic society that we live in these days. A pause to come through from Epsilon as they are trying to decide what they need to do in the next round. This one will just be a straightforward quasi-buy where they just pick up a couple of pistols here and there, some Kevlar as well to go with it. It seems like they have got a plan, if nothing else. They've got a couple of smokes and some flashes, so that leads me to think that they might be going for a semi-execute. Ten to 9. Snedka with the Farmers will not be able to do too much with that Farmers, but it does mean that Luki has much more space to be able to shine. Pulls out the P250. That's the Benji Franklin, and he's going to be able to shut down Sack as well. Tricked, equalize the score, bring it back to a 10-10. And, well, Tricked is still not going for the AWP, but they don't really seem to need to. Smooya, on the other hand, has picked it up. He's trying to change something up in their setup. And if it won't be the utility users, because Epsilon seem to be somewhat cut and dry on this map, it should definitely be at least a style of play from individuals. And that might be what they need. Now, A long has been an area which has largely been neglected by the terrorist side, and that's where they are putting pressure now. But on the other side comes Rixo, where he himself is throwing out a few flashbangs, catching them all off guard. And it all comes down to him whether or not he's going to be able to quickly spray down a couple of players through the smoke or so. But the first engagement might not actually be taking place over here. Instead, it's taking place on the other side. Rixo forced to actually step out into the open, as he will get dinked down by Surreal. And Cosmin, well, he hasn't really been looking too hot in the second half, and right now he's just going to be happy with getting a quick kill. The last few players from the CT side will opt to save their guns instead. They don't want to lose too much of an economic... They don't want to give up too much of an economic lead towards Epsilon. And with the amount of money they have, they should be comfortable for at least a couple of rounds to come, especially if they keep on making decisions like these, where they're saving in places where they don't really have too much of a chance of doing anything whatsoever. Now, that being said, there is still a hunter out, and that hunter's name is Cosmin, who gets one kill, but insta trading away immediately after. And you have to keep this in mind. This is much more expensive for the terrorist side than it is for the CTs, because the CTs now, if they win, that should be Cosmin, or at least, or maybe another player who doesn't have money anymore. That is going to be a player without a rifle, or a player without a Molotov, or a player without a smoke. Now the question comes through. How exactly are Epsilon going to keep on their toes? Because yes, that works out once, where you're able to take down Rick, so you're able to transition that in towards the take of the site after getting a nice little kill. But now you see how they're adjusting on the side of Tricked, where Luki is back over towards the A ramp area, the bottom of the ramp, where he is just guarding the doorway with 50 seconds left. They've got so much utility to work with. They've got 5 incendiaries. That is ridiculous. That is enough to be able to block them all out of the sights. And if they start throwing these now, the flashbangs as well, coming out from Rixo to help out his teammate, this is beautifully done from them. They've got all the utility in the world. Now the question is, will they be able to throw it, or will Epsilon be too fast for them? And it seems like the latter will be the case, because they're all just walking into the site, no utility thrown. And that is a problem, because although they have the discipline that they need to maintain, they're not throwing it at the right time. 5 incendiaries, of which I think only 2 of them got used. 2 of them are getting saved, and 1 of them just died and is on the floor right now. And saving utility is the current metagame? Yes, absolutely. You need to be able to save it towards the latter half of the round, and you need to be able to use that to prevent people from comfortably getting onto bomb sites, or not getting into bomb sites at all until there's 20 seconds left and they can't check angles anymore. That is fine. But when you're dying with utility still left on you, that's where that's just wasted money. When you're dying and when you aren't able to deploy that utility in time and you're not getting that read, that is wasted money. That's why Tricked have gone for the pause, and they're evaluating their options right now, because now their money is weak. They can save up and they can buy up in the next round properly. Maybe with an AWP as well if they really want to go for one. But more importantly than anything else, they need to be able to sit down, have a bit of a talk, have some tea, have some biscuits, try and figure out what exactly is going wrong with their utility usage, and why can't they take control of a round despite having all the utility in the world. This is a bit of a long pause. I'm pretty sure this is more than 30 seconds, which is the standard. Well, whatever. 30. I guess they're using 2 pauses at once. But, yeah, I'm super sorry about the entire situation going on right now. Epsilon have managed to regain momentum, and it seems like Tricked will be able to buy up right now. The AWP comes through from Rixo. This is a really long pause, honestly. Okay, there we have it. There we have it. Wait, is it the first place going to Katowice? Don't tell me that. No, that can't be right. No. The first place might have been for North America. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's like it's always been semifinals for EU. Actually, no, it's semifinals for EU and North America, actually. Anyway, Insta is going to be able to spray down a couple of people. Unfortunately, spraying down a few people isn't quite enough because he needs to finish them off as well. He does that a little while later on. Snedker, in the meanwhile, says, you know what? If Surreal can play this position without having any utility thrown towards him, maybe I can too. And it works out for him. Oh my goodness, Smuya. Well, Smuya, unfortunately, despite getting the very, very flashy kill, pun intended, will be forced to back his way off, or at least try and go for a self-boost onto tree, revealing his position in the process of doing so, failing to do so, falling down, and soon after walking into his death, as Luki does take him down. (12-11), Epsilon. Now they're facing up against a double op setup. This is where things get very interesting. Coming through from Trick. Actually, you know what? I'm going to stand up for the rest of this game. Right, I'm just going to adjust my microphone. After this round, you guys are going to hear some like weird grating sounds probably, which I apologize for, because I'm going to be adjusting my microphone. Anyway, so 12-11, Epsilon. I've got a Deagle in the hands of Robin. They've got Smuya with the AWP taking the lead, taking charge forward. And well, that's why you send him in the lead, because he's able to get the job done. Console, though, in the meanwhile, has already found 2, and he makes it 3 before finally Surreal can trade him away. And Surreal continues forward. He is in a 1 versus 2, has got some utility to work with, and is in possession of the bomb. He's got all of the tools at his disposal, but unfortunately for him, there's 2 players bloodthirsty for his life, and they will be able to claim it at the end of the day. 12-12 for Tricked. Okay. Now, Epsilon are forced back onto an eco round. Their economy is fairly broken. They don't really have too much of a chance in this particular round to be able to pull anything out. So they realize this. They're going to just play it safe, try and take away some money, take away some guns from the hands of Tricked. Cosmin, in the meanwhile, though, will be able to push through there, get the dink down onto Snadker, and they finish him off as well. That will be the MP9 finding its way into their hands as Insta will make quick work of them. Sack finally able to trade, get some extra money with the MP9 as well. Might be able to get the bomb plant down, and that guarantees his team an extra $800 moving into the next round. I guess pretty much all he could hope for in that situation. Okay, mic is now set up so I can stand. That means I won't be... Hopefully I won't be dozing off while I cast. There's two ops on the side of the CTs, and well, I'm not quite sure if they revealed that fact just quite yet. In the previous round we did see it being picked up, but neither one of those oppers actually ended up showing off their new found guns. Robin has got an AK pocketed up, but that AK is a little bit worse for wear. It hasn't been put to the greatest of use so far, as Tricked have been able to completely hold him off of the sides. Console in the meanwhile returns fire, brings down Cosme to 12 points of HP, makes him play a lot less aggressively in the future as they're going to be moving in towards that B side. Epsilon has to be so careful. Their utility is running low. Their flashes are running even lower. They've got 3 flashes left across the board, and if they aren't able to blind out these players, then they will have a perfect crossfire setup from Rock, Statue, and Chicken Coop. And Chicken Coop is a position they haven't been checking too often from the terrorist side, and they might be caught off guard by it. Insta taking point should be the first contact, but right now Snatker makes it quick work as Robin takes the ball. Cosmin to follow through. Finally, Smuya and Surreal are able to get a couple of kills. Surreal finds another man who was turned around, will have the AWP tagging him down to 16 points of HP. In the meanwhile, Snatker almost gets naded down to the feet. Unfortunately for Surreal, that doesn't connect, but he makes up for his misfortune as Snetker will be taken down soon after. Luki now left in a 1 versus 2. He reveals his position though as Smuya is going for the bomb plant. The incendiary is late in being deployed and Smuya will be forced out of his position. Instead though, he just backs off, doesn't take the peek, playing that perfectly, and Luki in a 1 versus 2 will be forced to walk into the scope, and instead of that, Smuya actually walks up, peeks through, and Luki will be taken down. (13-13). Tricked their money. Well, it isn't the greatest in the world. Their economy is looking a little bit like Pakistan's, where you've got one man who's got all the money in the world and everyone else is pretty poor. Pretty poor. Four AKs, an AWP, and a UMP will be decorating the armory of Epsilon. And Tricked, well, they can't really do too much in this round. A couple of pistols here and there. The best you can hope to achieve is maybe take that up out of Smuya's hands into the next round, because that's a big expensive gun that you want to be able to maintain this late into the game and this late into such an even game. 13-13 is not a score you want to be seeing from either side at this point. Insta has a chance to get something done though. From his angle, he's playing down towards the stairs and the P250 in his hand. If they don't check this out, or if he can get a couple of quick headshots, and that could have been interesting. Unfortunately, that simply isn't the case. Now the rest of these players are just positioned over towards that A side, over towards that A mid side rather, and they will just be taking those pistols, heading back towards T spawn, maybe rotating out to try and find a few exits in B, but it doesn't look like it will be the case. Trying to go for exit frags, as seems like Luki might actually be finding them. Just waiting near the T-spawn's bathroom area. But it seems like that will be that. Console finds 1 kill, Cosmin going down. Actually, Console, with a very long-range USB shots, will be able to connect with more than just one. He takes out quite a few guns from the hands of Epsilon, and that's important because now they will be forced to rebuy on a couple of them. And now 2 of these players, if they lose this round, 2 of these players will not be able to buy up, and Tricked will be in a great position to take it to the 15th round, in a great position to take it to match and map point. Snatker scouts out 1, shots him down early on. That's the benefit of having an AWP over towards the B platform. You can play around the corners of those smokes very effectively without showing off too much. Surprisingly enough, Rixo is not the man wheeling the op, it is instead Snetker. But he's making it work, and why not? He was picking it up earlier on as well when he positioned himself into Chicken Coop. This time though, he's gotten more aggressive. Smuyas continuing to take the charge forward. Surreal, with a flashbang, will be trying to take control of drop, but there is no one there to greet him from the CT side. He is wasting a lot of time trying to get information though. And unfortunately for him, this information does not come cheap. He used up a lot of his utility as well at the same time. Now, Epsilon, after showing so much presence on the B side, after making so much noise, after throwing so much utility, they will be trying to rotate back in towards A, but that's where there are 2 players from the CTs actually waiting for just that to happen. Rixo with that UMP will be taken out immediately, but that's where the second man, Luki, who is boosted up, will come into play. Smoke to come through, and well, Console had the chance to shut down Cosmin as he was looking the other way, but Cosmin is going to be able to get enough time to reclaim a little bit. Snadker gets shot down by the P250, and Smuya and company take it to a 15th round where they will be fighting off a force buy from Tricked. And finally, it looks like Epsilon might have been able to find the solution to end the game. Or at least, hopefully, if they don't end up losing out to a force buy. Two UMPs, a Deagle, and 2 CZs are pretty powerful though, to be fair. You can always see an upset to come through from them, and it's the first time Snetker has actually gone for that boost. A difficult situation to find yourself in if you are a fan of Tricked, if you are a Dane, but let's be realistic, there's literally not a single Danish player inside the chat right now. You're all British. You're literally all British, and well, you must be pretty used to this happening to you right now, considering the fact that Sack has already gone down early on, and it seems like Cosmin might have done the same, but unfortunately for Tricked, unfortunately for you guys, he is able to get the quick kill, and a secondary one as well with the Molotovs to help him out. Luki, in the meanwhile, is trying to rotate his way over and is stuck in a 1 versus 3 as Rixo finds 1 kill, but unfortunately Luki has to do a lot more than just that. Pushes forward and Cosmin will shut him down. That's it. Epsilon qualify for the close qualifiers.